It's important that we stop criminalizing Blackness in Minnesota. We should not be incarcerating the poor. We should not be criminalizing those who have drug offenses and are drug addicted. These are issues of poverty. We need to stop the widening of the funneling into the prison system with our children. Then the school to prison pipeline is villainizing our children earlier and earlier, preventing them from access to education and many programs that will support their lives.
And really what we look for when we're talking about body cameras, what President Obama said when he dedicated $75 million to police departments for body cameras, is about creating community trust between officers and the communities that they serve. Currently, the bill at the legislature and what Minneapolis Police Department is doing with their current policy is extra surveillance on citizens rather than a space for us to hold officers accountable. And all of these things do not allow us to use body cameras for what they're meant for, which is accountability. If we allow these officers to use them as extra surveillance, we will not be able to know what's really happening. We would not have issues like what just happened with Jamar Clark. Had body cameras been on those officers, I don't think we would still be in the place that we're in right now.
Private prisons are new age slavery. There's no way to get around that. That's what they are. They create profit of our enslaved bodies. We need to end that. We need to never allow a corporation to benefit from slavery. We have spent most of America's history dealing with the ramifications of slavery. We have dealt with reparations not being paid out. So why would we invest in private prisons that are only repeating the systems that have failed us? So in our policy, we are asking for a ban on private prisons and also no building of new public prisons unless at all. But what we want to see the state do is invest in a constructive rehabilitative system, a system that invests in the community and no longer takes us out of our families, puts us in prisons, and then benefits off of that labor. 1 in 6 black men in the state of Minnesota can't vote. That is because we have a broken criminal justice system. Minnesota has a record of putting people on probation. We also see that our incarceration rate is just rising and rising. When you look at our state reps and our House and our senators, they don't reflect our community. If we don't have access to the ballot box, how can we support them? How can we run for office if we can't even vote? Because 47,000 people should not be denied access to democracy.
One of the things is Minnesota's a place that gets things done. We want to lift up a couple of things that were prioritized this session were real ID and unemployment insurance on the range. Both of those things are very important, and both of those things are moving in real time. The third bucket was the equity crisis, and that remains to be seen whether or not the legislature is going to prioritize that in the same way that they did real ID and unemployment insurance on the Iron Range.
Somali Minnesotans have the highest rate of poverty among black Minnesotans, with a poverty rate of 58%. 16% of black Minnesotans are Somali, and the growth of Somali population is larger than any other group. Somali Minnesotans also experience the lowest healthcare outcomes. Another important issue that we would like to highlight and shed light on is the rise of Islamophobia in Minnesota. There have been many incidents of intimidation, threats, bullying, and harassment throughout the state. Fund culturally specific youth development programs and after-school activities. Fund career pathways programs for Somali youth. Fund career job placement programs. Support community organizations that are addressing health disparities.
We are really being denied the access of a lot of things in the state of Minnesota. We must come together and we need to do better.
What we are here for is to present to the state of Minnesota, and particularly to our legislators, the views of a united African community. And I say African community because we are all people of African heritage, to say to you that we want to share the resources and we want to have a say in how we move forward as a community. We will be back in 2017. In 2017, 2018, and beyond.
We are going to have hearings on this so that the public can weigh in as a whole. The Senate in particular, I would continue to ask the Speaker to do the same thing in the House. I'm not sure that he has made that commitment yet, but The Senate Majority Leader and the Finance Chair have made that commitment. We will start next week. If you just go up a couple flights of stairs, I think that question is much better for the Speaker. He was the reason why we could not put those things together and get them through. That has been the holdup.